What is up, guys? We have the first place winner here of the San Diego Regionals. You may know him as the Nicky Goldman, one of the best players in NA right now, in my opinion. And here he is in the flesh, winning his first ever regionals.
Yep.
And I've been watching your career go on. I've been cheering you on from the sidelines, and every single time I'm like, "This is his regional. This is his regional."
I appreciate the support.
Yes, and yeah, now we finally have a win now. And how do you feel about that now? Now that you have
honestly, I'm just
win?
relieved. I can't believe I went this long without a win, and I'm just glad to have gotten it.
Yeah, your first one ever. But at least you were able to get a lot of serials along the way. It wasn't just an empty-handed victory. I think you have about 10 serials now,
Yeah.
11 serials.
This is my 10th one.
Yeah, your 10th serial. Shout out to Project CCG.
Yeah.
Make sure that you guys follow and buy some stuff from them, as they are sponsoring one of the best players in NA right now.
Yeah.
So
and then I just want to give before we start, I just want to give a huge shout out to the whole Cali scene, all the locals nearby, Core TCG, Wildcard Cyclone, Project CCG,
yeah.
DXN, Perfect Rares, and then a huge shout out to Shane, the Goat Chat, and a shout out to Eric. And yeah.
All right. So why did you decide to play Taxi Luffy, even though I guess Dofi was kind of like the public enemy number one? What were you thinking? What were your thoughts here?
I think Dofi is a buy for this deck. I actually think BY demolishes Dofi like every single time. I think the only time you lose is if they like gamble a pudding and you draw completely unplayable, but it's so hard to draw unplayable because I run 8 searchers and you can really just play the game with like a Sabo, a Luffy, or like a Rocket Luffy, or even just drawing a Deco, you know?
I see.
So it's really hard to just break like that. Yeah.
It was never a toss-up between you and choosing this deck and Lucci?
No, only because Lucci loses to this.
I
so,
see.
Yeah, so BY, I figured out the Dofi matchup. Lucci's a buy already. And then I really just had to figure out like the rest of the meta. Anel is it's not easy, but if you navigate it well, you win. You definitely can win.
Yeah.
And then Purple Luffy is probably the scariest, but I wasn't expecting it to be as represented today because it gets demolished by Dofi, and I feel like everyone in their mods are playing Dofi right now.
Or against Dofi.
Yeah,
taking forward.
Yeah, everyone. I don't know why everyone's just overhyping Dofi.
Yeah.
I think that deck is just overhyped.
It could be the OP-9 influence as well.
Yeah, I don't know why everyone's just glazing that deck. That deck just blows.
Well, yeah, hopefully you don't play that deck in the future. Hopefully you accountable to that one. Okay, let's check out your list real quick, and yeah, and then your matchup spreads afterwards.
Yeah. So my leader, of course. For the life takers, I played 4 Flampe. This card's insane. It's a 1 card and it gets you 2, and it also takes lives, and you really just want to get to 0 before you hit 10 Dawn. That way you're able to like when you get to 10 Dawn, you're able to just start playing geckos.
Yeah.
For Hiyori, she's also really important because you want to stay at 1 life against a lot of decks. And so what you do at the like when you're at 1 or 2 life, you can like play this down, take the life, put a 5-drop there, and then play baby, summon the 5-drop. It's like a whole 8 Dawn play. And you can even do it at 2 life if you have the life-taking Luffy, the Fist Luffy. So super mandatory, and these are both 2K, so you just definitely have to run these cards. It has such good synergy. 2 Makinos, I mainly ran this because I really liked this before, and I just kept it in. I like that you can they can swap around your life. So it's actually really relevant into like yellow if they kata you, or purple if they send something to life, and you're able to like swap your life around and maybe like put the card they put to the like top, and then like Luffy and trash it. It's also just a 2K. And what's really important, I guess, against Dofi is sometimes you get stuck at 1 life, and against Dofi, like literally all you have to do is clear their board every turn, and so you sometimes need to like take your last life to go back to 2 life, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
because sometimes you just don't have the baby. All right, I played 4 of each searcher. I just wanted to max out on consistency. You know, pudding is a very relevant card right now, and it's really easy to break. But if you draw these, you can search your babies, and that can just completely unbrick you. And honestly, it like starts the loop all over again.
Yeah.
and it's just max consistency. I'm all about consistency whenever I like build my decks.
Yeah, especially with the lawless back in the day.
Yeah.
I remember.
So for Luffy and for Baby Sabo, you just have to max out on these cards. I do not run Ace. I chose not to run Ace because I don't like how it conflicts with your searches. Like if you only ran like 1 and 1 or 2 and 2, like I feel like a lot of the time you're kind of like forced to take it off the search because you're never gonna see it again if you like send to the bottom. And another reason why the Ace engine like blows, I think, is because again, pudding is a very relevant card, and when they pudding you, you need like all 6 cards, not all 6 cards, but you need to be able to work with like almost all 6 cards, and you can't have any bricks in your hand because like Ace is like such a huge brick. You know, you don't really need to apply that pressure either. You can play it really slow against Sophie. Like you don't care what they do. You're just constantly trying to like wipe the board. So I played 4 of this Luffy, 4 of this Luffy, and then 4 of this Sabo, and 2 of this Sabo. This Luffy is like really insane against Lucci and Anel. Once it like 6 on the board, you can just like take all your life by itself, and it's an AK attacker. And like you can like Hiyori it out at 2 life, and you can immediately go to 0, just with Hiyori and a baby and this Luffy. For Rocket Luffy, this card is a mandatory at 4. This is literally how you win your Dofi matchup. You just wipe their board every single turn, and
you draw a card.
Yeah, you draw a card, so it replaces itself, and you just like heal to 2, and they can never kill. You put them in like an unwinnable game state where they just can never win because they can't attack you enough times.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter like if they're putting you, it doesn't matter what they do, you know.
Yeah.
I play 4 of the Sabo. This card is such a broken card. Like even if it didn't have like all this, it has blocker as a protection effect, so it's really mandatory into Lucci. And it also filters, so it helps with consistency against Dofi. Actually, this is really important because you get to discard like some of your pieces later on, and that way if they putting you, like you already have your trash set up. And then 2 of the Sabo. This was more of a meta call. I was expecting a lot of Bonnie. And this card is really good into Bonnie. It has counter, and it's also a name, so it's just like a consistency piece. And also, against Dofi, like I said, you just wipe their board every turn, and they can literally do nothing. And yes, like I said, like if you're stuck at 1 life, you can also just use it to get that life out, and it pops a card, so it's actually just like really good. It's just that it doesn't have much utility. Like it doesn't gain you advantage, I would say. I would say it's just a good supplement with all the other cards.
Okay.
So yeah, that's that. And then for Gecko, this card's just broken. You can like bring out your babies and like bring out 2 5-drops and then heal to 2 because it's only 8 and you need 2 Dawn for your leader. Yeah, this card's just mega broken.
Yep.
And then for my tech slots, I had 6 slots, and I played 2 Kuzan, 2 Pistol, and 2 Ice Age.
Okay.
Originally, actually, I kind of just took my original list, and then I changed the Kuzan, because I had 4 Kuzans before, and I changed them to 2 Pistol, just because I was expecting more Bonnie, and I just wanted all my like decks covered, you know. And it also just like synergizes well with like Ice Age. And also, it's like actually such a nasty trigger. Like this actually just ends the game. Like, if you trigger this against Dofi, the game is over. They've lost so much tempo, it's kind of crazy. Kuzan is cool. I'm not gonna lie, Kuzan like almost never came up.
Okay.
But he's really cool because like against Dofi, like a normal play is like you're always sitting at 1 life because you play around Femur. And so, like what you do is you go like Gecko, Kuzan, and into a baby out the 1 life, and then you could leader effect back to 2. So you're at 7-2 life, and you drew a card off Kuzan. So if they have like a big drop on board, you can like try to clear it. But yeah, that is pretty much it. Oh, I guess I should talk about the cards I'm not running.
Yeah.
I'm not playing Borsellino. I honestly, it was like a big toss-up between Kuzan and Borsellino. I didn't want Borsellino for the Dofi matchup. I thought it was just gonna get bounced easily, but it does have counter, so I think that's really cool about it. But that's really it. Like this helps you, this draws, so like you can I don't know, see Gecko more consistently. Honestly, like that is like literally the only reason why I chose Kuzan over Borsalino. Why didn't I play the 3-drop Nami? That card just blows ass. I don't know why people are playing it. The people say they want to play it off Gecko for like probably the same reason of Kuzan, because it draws, it has counter, and it's a blocker. But you really just don't need all that. Like honestly, if you drop one Gecko against Dofi, the game is over.
Yeah.
So you like that Nami is just a win more card, and if anything, it's like a brick because it does nothing in the early game, or like Kuzan can draw your card. Like Nami, I think you have to have an 8 cost on the board to draw, so that kind of blows. And yeah, I already covered the aces. Is there anything else I'm missing?
So I'm curious about how do you normally deal with Jack by using Kuzan, or do you just ignore Jack?
You can just ignore Jack. It's like a body that like they need to attach it on every turn to like swing with it. But sometimes you get like to a simplified game state where they're like countering too much early, and countering their life early, and you can just like swing 11 into the Jack because they were countering too much.
And I believe you did that right in one of your matchups.
Yeah, I did that in the
Jack.
finals. Yeah, he was just countering my my cards because I was pressuring his life hard, and then for my final attack I went 11 to his Jack and it died.
Yeah, it died. Yeah.
And then like later on in the turn or later on in the game he like played a Gecko, and I went like Ice Age, Rocket Luffy it, and like so he just never had pressure on the board.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Nicky, it was a pleasure to have you on this channel again once more, and it's not going to be the last time because I'm pretty sure you're going to be doing really well in the future as well, and hopefully you take home the Nationals title in Florida.
Yeah, I plan to.
Yeah, all right. I'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Peace out.